Hey everybody, welcome to Workforce Gaming. I am Brad, here with Doug.
Hey.
No More Heroes is having its comeback with No More Heroes 3.
Yep.
So I had to catch up. I love the first two.
Yep.
They're fantastic Wii games, so I had to play Travis Strikes Again because I just never bothered with it because I heard so many bad things when it came out that I just skipped right over. I was like, oh, I was really excited, but it doesn't look like No More Heroes. It sounds like it's not that great. It doesn't look that great. So I kind of skipped over it. So I came back to check out Travis Strikes Again before No More Heroes 3, just in case there were connections.
Yeah, I'd heard even fans of that game were kind of like, I don't know about this one.
It very much feels like somebody who's just like, you know what? I don't give a shit about this one. I'm going to try whatever I want, and we're going to see if it works.
Sure.
It very much has that. The basic thing of it is Travis basically is like retired, and then Badman, one of the characters from the other games, brings this death ball, which is the game cartridge for the Death Drive video game console. And you basically get sucked into this video game console and have to go play these different video games to try and... it's kind of like Dragon Ball Z, where if you complete them all, you get a wish, and you're trying to like resurrect this other character from the series.
Okay.
Like I said, it very much seems like somebody's just like, I don't know, dude, like, this isn't, we're not putting a number on this, so just do whatever you want and we'll see what happens. Because it basically plays out where you're at like Travis's little campsite where he retired to get away from his life as an assassin to save his wife and kids so they're not always hunted because he's around.
Yeah.
And then this dude shows up to kill Travis and you end up forming a truce. And from there, this all happens. And it's basically what it is you go and you get basically visual novel. They even joke like, haha, we're a visual novel now. Wall of text for like 10 minutes. And it looks like original Metal Gear Solid codec where you've got picture, and text in the middle.
Yeah. That's
so you watch that, and when you're done with that, like, this is how you acquire the death ball. So you're like, oh, I got to go to this diner, and I got to talk to this person. This person tells me to go to this repair shop, and the repair shop, there it is, and I get it. Go back, put it into your video game console, and then you get sucked into the game to play that game and beat that game.
Okay. Is it so? No, like the thing I'm curious about. It seems like he just had some time between No More Heroes 2 and 3. He's just like, let's just make this fun thing, and then people will get No More Heroes 3 eventually. Is that just kind of the idea? Well, it's just kind of like a bunch of weird ideas that he was having, or does it actually feel like is this more like kind of like a Kingdom Hearts sort of pseudo sequel sort of thing? It's like, you should probably pay attention to this one.
So as of this recording, I'm like halfway through Kingdom Hearts, No More Heroes 3, and none of it's really super relevant now. There's a couple like winks and nods to it, but it very much just kind of feels like, you know what, I'm just going to try some stuff out. I'm going to see what this is. It feels very much like you don't have the budget for it. Yeah. But at the same time, it feels like No More Heroes 3 is already in development because there's multiple references to like, oh, we'll see it in the sequel, And then I played the complete edition, which actually has an end tag that's very clearly the like, we're working on No More Heroes 3 right now. So I don't know if that came with the DLC or how that fit with the original release, because again, I played the one with DLC, complete edition, PS4 version. So I don't know, but it's a very weird game because each one of these games is kind of supposed to quote unquote be a different game, but like they all play the same. So like one, you're walking through and it's a big puzzle and you're supposed to be solving this murder of this guy who murdered somebody in this town, and you like go and do a couple fights, and then you go to this overworld and there's things that like spin the streets around, and it's like a connect the streets puzzle, and then you go into the next house, you get a clue. So, and that's the thing, like, they're cool little ideas here and there. And again, that's where I'm saying it feels like somebody was just like, I don't know, just try whatever you want. You go to another one, it's very clearly a Resident Evil mansion. And it's like, go in this store, and you go in this store, you talk to somebody. Okay, that unlocked this door. Go in this store, you beat some things. You're getting coffee and donuts to basically, this guy will get resurrected if you get enough coffee and donuts. So again, it's like Resident Evil. Oh, I got this donut. Okay, now I got the coffee. Okay, I'll go back and talk to the guy. He goes, oh, cool, great. I unlocked this door for you. Go in the next one. Oh, okay, go get me more coffee and donuts, and and you're going through this Resident Evil house. So they all very much have this very clear, different thing. But the gameplay for all of them is exactly the same, and it's just fine.
What is it? It's like a top-down game, right? Which is like totally different from like the previous series, right?
Yeah,
it's just like a third. The ones I've played was like a third-person action game. This is like a weird top-down, not good version of that or something,
It's
or what?
so the normal one is like basically third person stylish action is basically what you can sum up
Yeah.
No More Heroes into. It does its own twist and it has its very own unique things. But if you want to get very general, if you think Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, that sort of thing, you're in the right realm. This is, it's not even top down, and that's what bugged me. Is it's like diagonal down. The camera's just positioned like in this weird middle ground between behind Travis and like right on top of Travis. So like you never get that clear view of the room because the diagonal's kind of slanted down a little bit, but you also never get that full view from behind him. It's a very weird perspective that drove me slightly insane the whole time. But other than that, the gameplay does follow your typical No More Heroes, just like heavy attack, light attack.
Yeah.
There you go. But because it kind of tries to take that top down aesthetic a little bit more in gameplay style, there's like a lot more like you can just hold square and he just runs around swinging the sword, so you can just kind of run like you would when you're playing a top down shooter and you're just holding the stick forward, blasting bullets everywhere. But with this sword,
Yeah.
you have some skills. But it's really, initially I was like, oh okay, I get it, it's top down No More Heroes, like this is fun. But after a couple hours you're just like, man, is this done yet? Because it's just, the thing that keeps you going is like all these weird little things, and they're kind of fun and they're weird, but just the gameplay is just, it's so repetitive and it really doesn't change. There's nothing ever super unique that happens with it. It's just kind of from the beginning to the end, you're just kind of going. You have skill cards that you can change in and out that give you like an extra ability, which you collect as you go, which are kind of fun and change it up a little bit, but it's still just like, all right, just running and swinging.
So is more the games the stuff that you're getting the enjoyment out of than just not necessarily the gameplay, but more like just like the content of it? Because I remember you were telling me some like crazy stuff that happens. I think it's like probably worth spoiling like a little bit, just some of those context stuff, like because it sounded like some of like the game was like, yeah, this game is not fun to play, but and then you're like, oh, here's X, Y, Z, why this game's amazing.
and the note I wrote down is cool tone, great cutscenes and in level stuff, but oh my gosh, it's boring in between. So yes, exactly. And again, I think it's just that stuff where it's just like every now and then you see something and it just, again, I don't want to get into spoilers for it. But it's just, you see something like, that was so cool, oh my gosh, that's crazy, that's awesome, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's fine. I guess little spoilers, just because I do think this would convince people to like check it out or like really make my point. It embodies other games so much. It literally is just like this is just a riff on other games so hard, and we're just gonna really. No More Heroes has always had that like, haha, I'm a video game, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
But this like literally is like, hey gamers, we're gonna try this. Oh, we're talking too long, guys. We're gonna lose the gamers. We better get back to that action. Nobody paid $60 to listen to us talk for 20 minutes.
Oh, sure.
Like 90% of that stuff works, but then there's like 10% of where you're like, oh man, like, stop. too much.
Yeah, I think
like,
both of us definitely have like a little tinge when I hear that word gamer. It's like, I like to play games, but I would not like to associate myself as a gamer.
But even with that, there's like weird little things, like in the intro, it's like powered by Unreal Engine, and it's like Unreal Engine's like a middleware software provided by Epic. And it's just like literally like that literally just pops up like as you're like seeing like the like logos flashing on the screen. It's like, oh yeah, you guys know this, you know this, and then just like little like asterisks on the bottom of Unreal Engine. Travis runs around in an Unreal Engine t-shirt as his default costume. At one point you're playing like a classic game and it says something along the lines of, oh, I really miss that game. I'll bet Devolver would do a really cool remaster of that.
Oh, that's really fun.
But it's stuff like that, and that kind of stuff just kind of like makes me giggle and go, okay, you got me for another 20 minutes. Yeah. But even towards the end, it gets even more in that. If you know Suda51's stuff, this is like Suda51 Avengers. Because like characters from every other Suda51 game show up in some capacity in this. Like Killer is Dead in there, Killer 7's in there, Shadows of the Damned is in there, Silver Case is in there. So if you know Suda51 stuff, so much of it is on like a wink and a nod to that.
Yeah.
Some of it even more so. There's an entire Shadows of the Damned level that basically functions as a sequel to Shadows of the Damned, where like you are talking with Garcia, the main character, you are talking with Johnson, his gun, you are like interacting with them as you go through this level that is very clearly either the town that you were in Shadows of the Damned or very heavily inspired by it. And it's just, that kind of stuff was so cool, and that's kind of what kept me going through this, even though it's just kind of like, man, I guess I just gotta hold square and run through these guys again, because it's very it's very like, it's level segmented, where it's just like, okay, run through corridor of guys, get cutscene, run through corridor of guys, get cutscene. And it's just, it's not a long game, like 7 or 8 hours, but even then, by the time you're done, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, come on.
It is kind of funny because I do feel like sometimes to me like art and characters and tone can like really carry me through a game, but even I would have a limit to that kind of stuff. And it seems like kind of like you're feeling the same. It's like, yeah, this stuff's really good, but boy, this gameplay is just real rough.
And-
That's like I couldn't do Deadly Premonition because of that, but like I feel
Yeah,
like I
same.
would like that game, but I couldn't do it. There's like a certain like a low standard that I have that I just like it has to just hop over that line.
And that's where this is, because again, it's, I don't want to use the word bad gameplay. I want to use the word boring gameplay, because like bad implies like, you're looking at me funny. Bad to me implies like this is not fun to do. I'm hating it.
Yeah.
At no point was I like, oh my god, I hate this. I'm over this. This needs to stop. It was more just like, all right, more of this. Okay. Because again, like those first couple hours, I was like, oh, this is nowhere near as bad as everybody said. And then again, once you get past like hour 4, hour 5, you kind of start to feel that like strain
It's
of
the
just
same thing.
Okay. So again,
Yeah.
I don't think you would critique the gameplay if you cut the game in half. And honestly, I think if you
Sure.
cut this game in half, you would have had a much better game. I think
So
it's
do you
one-
like this?
I don't know.
So like, do you like?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It falls in one of those games where it's like I enjoyed a good chunk of it, but I don't think.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask me halfway through, is this a good game?
Yeah.
Do you like this game? I would have. Yeah, I don't know what people's problem with this is. By the end, it was just kind of like, yeah, I think so. It's not a game. It's not a game I would recommend anybody play unless you're like super into Suda 51 stuff. In which case,
Sure.
like, it's a must play, and you probably have already played it because again, like, all those characters are there. It connects stuff. It fills in gaps in those games. It does all that kind of stuff, which is really cool. But it's just, I think I enjoyed it. I don't know. But also in the back of my mind the whole time I was like, oh, No More Heroes 3 gonna be so good. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Sure.
So I think
I was like, did you regret playing it before No More Heroes 3, or like would you recommend people playing this one before No More Heroes 3 or not?
having, again, at time of recording, I'm halfway through No More Heroes 3, and this stuff's pretty much irrelevant. There's one scene in No More Heroes 3 where it's literally like a guy sits down and he's like, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I did so-and-so, and Travis looks at him and goes, dude, we know this. He's like, yeah, but I was in Travis Strikes Again. Let's be honest, most people probably haven't played that, so I feel like I should introduce myself.
That's really good. That's very good.
So-
oh man.
So again, it's like, and like that, and again, that's like that Suda 51 like reference humor that's in this, that's in all of his games. So again, if you like that, I think there's enough here to carry you through it, but you got to know that gameplay is going to get grindy and just kind of blah by the end.
Yeah.
But No More Heroes 3 though, so good so far. More on that later. We are Workforce Gaming. You can follow us on Twitter at Workforce Gaming. Subscribe to us wherever you're listening, and we will see you later.
Bye.